Lesson 1.1.3, Recognizing Functions and Function Families. In this video, we will determine if the relation is a function. So we have 4 sets of vocabulary words for this section. The first one being relation. So a relation is the mapping between a set of input values called the domain and a set of output values called the range. The next one we have is function. A function is a relation that assigns to each element of the domain exactly one element in the range. So in other words, if we have a function, we put 5 in it, it gets a single number for an answer. It does not get 2 numbers for an answer, like we were looking at with the mappings earlier. Vertical line test. Vertical line test is a visual method used to determine whether a relation represented as a graph is a function. Continuous graph is a graph of points that are connected by a line or smooth curve of the graph with no breaks. Discrete graph is a graph of isolated points. And I have a note here. To apply the vertical line test, consider all the vertical lines that could be drawn on the graph of a relation. If any of the vertical lines intersect the graph of the relation at more than one point, then the relation is not a function. This applies to both discrete and continuous graphs. Again, if you need more time, just pause it. I'm going to go ahead and continue on. Determine which relations represent functions. If the relation is not a function, state why. So if we look at the first graph here, if I draw a vertical line through this graph, I intersect it in 2 different places, which means that this is not a function. And it says state why the graph So the graph does not pass the vertical line test. That's our reasoning. So I'm going to pause it, or you're going to pause it actually, and try number 2, and then when you unpause it, you can check and see how you did. So now that you've tried it, you should have got function. You can draw a vertical line through anywhere on this graph and it will touch the graph only once. And that is determine which relations are functions, or that's how do you determine whether a graph is a function or not.